You good, homie? Oh god, oh god. As I pressed the record button, he started to drop a deuce. And if you're asking why he's dropping a deuce in my house, we have like this grass puppy pad training thing. So he's dropping deuces in the house. So yeah. Altgang, what is good? In this video, we're gonna be reacting to NF's Let You Down. Ain't that right, Dex? Ain't that right? You coming to join us in this one? Get. Okay. Who's that?
Yeah, I guess I'm a disappointment. Doing everything I can, I don't wanna make you disappointed. It's annoying. I just wanna make you feel like everything I ever did was never trying to make an issue for you. But
I've got it. That has to be his dad. This has to be his dad. I don't know whether it's his stepdad, the one that you guys in the comment section told me that would abuse NF growing up as a kid, a kid and a child, a chid. I could be totally wrong, but that was just my instinct. You know, the visual was set up in a way whereas this guy who looks like a dad, he's dressed like a dad. And even the inflection of that voice that's singing the hook, we saw this across Remember This, but it almost has that childlike quality to it. So that signifies to me that it's trying to get across the message of him being a child and experiencing whatever's going to happen in this video as a child.
I guess I'm a disappointment. Doing everything I can, I don't want to make you disappointed. It's annoying. I just want to make you feel like everything I ever did was
Beats
an issue for you. But I guess the more you thought about everything, you were never even wrong in the first place, right? Yeah, I'ma just ignore you, walking towards you. With my head down, looking at the ground, I'm embarrassed for you. Paranoia. What did I do wrong this time? That's parents for you. Very loyal. Should I have my back? Would you put a knife in my hands for? What else should I carry for you? I care for you, but
that visual is nuts, bro. In my mind, it feels like he's trying to gain the validation from his father. He's just clutching at straws. It's almost like punching underwater. What's the point of punching underwater? Because your movement is just going to be slowed down and retracted. So there's almost no point. And that's what I guess NF feels in this situation. Oh, so I'm reading the lyrics of the first verse again. So this feels like it's coming from the perspective of this father figure. And as I said, I don't know whether this is his stepdad or his actual real dad, but it feels like this is coming from the perspective of his dad, not NF. Hey Dax, what's up? Come on. I'm gonna now reassess what I said earlier about him like punching in the water and clutching at straws. This feels like maybe this is just like NF's anger, like, and yeah, you could relate it to punching underwater because what's the point? What's the point of trying to seek validation from something or try and express your anger and your outrage towards someone who's done you wrong when the only thing that's happening to you is metaphorically you're just drowning yourself, you're just wasting your energy, you're wasting your time. So I think that's what the actual visual of NF being underwater and then it being reversed signifies that there's just no point to this because you're just going to end up wasting your energy. You're going to go back in the water and you're going to drown. Or you could also interpret NF being in the water as the dad almost watching his kid drown because he's done wrong by the kid. It's like watching a burning building. Like there's not much you can do except watch it burn.
No, you walking towards you. With my head down, looking at the ground, I'm embarrassed for you. Paranoia. What did I do wrong this time? That's parents for you. Very loyal. Should I have my back? Would you put a knife in my hands for? What else should I carry for you? I care for you, but on the edge right now. I wish that I could say I'm proud. I'm sorry that I let you down. Let you down. All these voices in my head get loud. I wish that I could shut them out. I'm sorry that I let you down. Let you down. Yeah. You don't wanna make this work, you just wanna make this once. Want me to listen to you, but you don't ever hear my words. You don't wanna know my hurt yet. Let me guess, you want an apology, probably. How can we keep going at a rate like this? We can't, so I guess I might have to leave. Please don't come after me.
This is deep stuff. Like even in that chorus where you had both the older voice of the guy in the chorus and you had the younger guy, you could almost say it's both ways. you could almost say the disappointment goes both ways, but the child's disappointment is in its naivety. You want that validation from your dad, so you feel like you've let him down because he's doing all of these weird things to you, whether, as I mentioned earlier, whether that's because he's left you or he hasn't given you attention. It's like, what have I done wrong? I've disappointed you, Dad. But in reality, the dad has let the kid down by not being there for him, or by abusing him, or by not spending enough time with him, or whatever that kid wants from the dad is obviously not giving it. And it's funny how I mentioned the burning building earlier. NF is in a burning car. So it's like, once the damage is done, the damage is done.
She don't wanna know my hurt yet. Let me guess. You want an apology, probably. How can we keep going at a rate like this? We can't, so I guess I might have to leave. Please don't come after me. I just wanna be alone right now. I don't really wanna think at all. Go ahead, just drink it all. Both know you're gonna call them on like nothing's wrong. Ain't that what you always do? I feel like every time I talk to you, you're in an awful mood. What else can I offer you? There's nothing left right now. Give it all to you. On the edge right now. I wish that I could say I'm proud. I'm sorry that I let you down. Let you down. All these voices in my head get loud. I wish that I could shut them out. I'm
Sorry that I let you down. That hook is very catchy.
Yeah, don't talk down to me, that's not gonna work now. Packed all my clothes and I moved out. I don't even wanna go to your house. Every time I sit on that couch, I feel like you lecture me. Eventually, I bet that we could've made this work and probably would've figured things out. But I guess I'm a letdown, but it's cool, I checked out. Oh, you wanna be friends now? Okay, let's put my fake face on.
The visual, so funny, isn't it? It's very ironic that we're now presented with a grave that's just open. Where did we see that? We saw that in intro 2, and then we heard that in intro 3. The whole imagery around burying your demons, burying your fears. And now you can see the extent of which these emotions play out, not just in NF's life, but the people who have been significantly part of his life, i.e. his dad. I don't know what's in this ditch that he's standing over, but I can only assume that it's going to be his demons, his quote-unquote, his version of quote-unquote fear. And that's not me saying he's burying his fear and getting over it. This is just a visual representation of what he's missed out on in terms of spending time with NF. Like, the kid is dead now and he has to live with that. I don't know if that made sense, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
Okay, let's put my fake face on and pretend now. Sit around and talk about the good times. That didn't even happen. I mean, why are you laughing? Must have missed that joke. Let me see if I can find a reaction. No, but at least you're happy. Feels like we're on the edge right now. Wish that I could say I'm proud. Sorry that I let you down. Oh, I let you down. All these voices in my head get loud, and I wish that I could shut them out. Sorry that I let you down. Oh, I let you down. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, no. Yeah, I'm sorry that I let you down.
Oh, so it's an imagination. Wow, that's pretty deep, bro.
Nathan.
Oh. What? I'm hoping this is part of a storyline which NF elaborates on later on down the line and kind of opens up what this actually means. Just that one word, the fact that the woman said Nate at the end, it's just changed my whole perspective on what this means as a song. The woman saying Nate obviously means that NF was looking at his younger self. So was he saying he's let himself down? Is it that the older guy in the video is a version of NF of what he would have been had he not become NF? He would have just been this dude who went through his life with all these regrets, all of these thoughts and feelings because he didn't act upon the desire to become an impactful rapper that changes people's lives. So him having to watch himself drown, him having to see himself dead in a casket is like him coming to grips with the idea that he wasn't or didn't become the person who he desired to be. And then on the flip side of that, because what I initially thought before the woman at the end said Nate, this could also be about his dad I don't know the backstory of his dad. I know that you guys in the comment section have told me his stepdad abused him. I'm not entirely sure what happened with his biological father. And there's obviously connotations around how this song can link back to that part of his life. But again, it's just fantastic storytelling. The way NF is piecing together these stories, even with the visual, because now my brain's just going to be racing thinking about, oh my god, this is about NF, is it about his dad? Like, who's this actually about? Is it about another personified character? There's just so many questions that you are left wanting to be answered. I didn't really get too much into the lyrics, but the cadence and the flow, again, I have to say, has stepped up. Another thing I would say, I wasn't previously impressed by the chorus on songs like Outcast and songs like Green Light. Although I did like Green Light, I didn't really feel the hook on it. But with this one, it's got a very catchy hook. I love the way how it ties back in with the theme of the song. And I also said that about Green Lights as well, which is one thing that I pointed out, is that his hooks, his choruses have become very much more so a poignant player in the way how he decides to tell these stories in his verses. Did you enjoy it? You just chewing my hoodie? You just chewing this hoodie? Okay, cool. Good for you, bro. You do you. Oh. We're homies, we're good. If this is your first time here, please consider becoming part of the Altgang by smashing that subscribe button, not only just for me, but to see more videos of this adorable puppy right here. So make sure you stay tuned for the rest of my videos. Other than that, get the fuck out of here. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Bye, Felicia. Ow!